Hello Power Rangers Lightning Collection fans, and welcome back to Lightning Storm, the series where lightning always strikes twice as we talk about everything that has happened for the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. This is going to be my Fan First Tuesday recap. Almost said Fan First Friday there, because I'm just so used to that rolling off the tongue, but it was not a Fan First Friday, it was a Fan First Tuesday event. A live stream event held for Power Rangers, and the very first time that we had one on a Tuesday. So, let's go ahead and talk about what happened. So today, Power Rangers was double billed with Transformers for the Fan First Tuesday event. So after Transformers having an entire hour dedicated to itself, it was time for Power Rangers to take over at noon Eastern Time. And no, they took over for 13 minutes. So this was only 13 minutes long, while Transformers had one solid hour, and this was completely ridiculous. So if you guys want to see my Joker moment where I just kind of lose my shit, you can check out the live stream reaction, as a lot of you did. So thank you all for tuning into that. So there's a timer in the corner because I'm dedicated to talk about these products longer than the Hasbro team did themselves. So we're going to talk about the new reveals for the day, and I'm not even going to focus at all about what they showed off that wasn't new reveals. So the first new reveal of the day was the next wave of Ninja Ranger figures at Target. So this finally concludes the story of what happened a couple of weeks ago. We had those pictures of the Ninja Red figure, and we were pretty sure that they were legitimate, and they absolutely are. They are 100% legitimate pictures, and now we have the official reveal of the figure. And this is actually like a whole little mini wave of 3, which if you remember the same night that we got those leaked pictures of Ninja Red, we had 3 brand new Target listings. Well, there we go. That is the 3 brand new Target listings. So this is like another wave of ninjas to follow up the ones that we had about half a year ago that were revealed at Target during Power Month and stuff. So this wave is going to be Ninja Red, of course Rocky, which looks really good. I think that they have finally gotten a pretty nice looking Rocky head sculpt. I still thought that the metallic one was pretty solid, but it's obviously a lot better than the Zeo Blue one. We're also going to be getting Ninja Yellow to finally complete the core team here, which if you get red and you get yellow, you have all 6 of them, even though there is a third figure we're going to talk about, and it was pretty predictable. I even kind of said it on the night I was expecting it, and it is 100% what we thought it was going to be. But Aisha looks great. I mean, it's reusing the female mold. It's exactly what you would want it to be, and it's just really nice that we can have the whole team of Ninja Rangers complete relatively quickly. I mean, yes, it's been half a year since they announced the other 4, and while those 4 have been out internationally for months, they're still not out here in the United States. It's nice to know that we will be able to complete the team. And finally, if you want to really complete the team, they're going to be making another version of the Ninja Pink Ranger, though this one is going to be specifically based off of Catherine's appearance as the Ninja Pink Ranger and not Kimberly's. So that makes sense. I mean, it's obviously just basically a figure remold or reuse. The only new pieces really are the head sculpts, and they did change her box to actually have Tom Whalen artwork of Catherine. That way it wouldn't look the exact same as Kimberly's. So hey, I can definitely appreciate that at the very least. I think that was a cool little detail that they did for that. So all 3 of these are Target exclusives, which are up for pre-order right now. At the time of this video, they're still up. I'm going to leave the links to them. Target pre-orders, sometimes they last forever, sometimes they don't. So of course add these to the list of things that Target's going to continuously charge you for and uncharge you for and then charge you again for months. They don't even have a release date on Target. Hasbro Pulse has them up, and I'm not sure exactly what the release date is. Let me check on that. So Pulse has the Ninjas up for a November release, so that probably seems about right. I'm not expecting these to come out at Target until the fall, which I know is annoying because we still have the Tyrannosaurus Sentry on pre-order from Target that still hasn't shipped, and we have the 4 other Ninjas on Target pre-order that haven't shipped. But right now, it might be beneficial if you can get them off of Target, because right now they are having you spend $50 on toys, you get $10 off, or you spend $100 on toys, you get $25 off. So it might be more beneficial to pre-order them there. I pre-ordered all 3 of them at Target, and I was able to get the $10 off, and it ended up being like 71 something when it was all said and done. For the 3 new ones at least. So there's that, and I'm very happy that the box is all matched. That we have this is like our first complete team in the Lightning Collection besides like regular Mighty Morphin, to where you can have a single standalone box for everybody, and they will line up on the shelf and look very nice. So I'm definitely very excited for these to come out sometime in the fall. Now behind them at the beginning of the stream here, they had this top secret box, which was a pretty big box, and if you know the stuff that I've told you guys was going to be coming, it was probably not super surprising what it was, and that is the Red Ranger Power Sword. So we are, of course, getting a Lightning Collection Power Sword, which is going to be like about 40 inches long, which is, I think, like 6 or 7 inches shorter than the Bandai Legacy one that came out back in like 2017 was. So no, some people are not very happy about that. But of course, kind of like what they did for the Dragon Dagger, it's actually very similar to what they did with the Dragon Dagger. There's going to be lights in this thing. There's going to be sounds in this thing. There's buttons that will activate. I believe it was the Mighty Morphin theme song is going to be in this thing because why not? And but yeah, basically it's going to light up red, which is something that like never happens. I think Geki does that like once where he kind of like runs his hand up the blade. Like when they first get it, I think they light up for like a second in Zyuranger, and this is kind of what that's supposed to be mimicking. It's also just to jack the price up, but you know, it's what it is. So it looks good. I'm not surprised that it lights up red. I don't need it to light up red. I will probably never use that feature. At least this one, I think actually have to click a button where the Dragon Dagger lit up green every time you played the tunes, and I thought that was a little annoying. So I do like that this is a little bit different in that regard. And then very similar to the Dragon Dagger, you're going to get a stand for this thing, which I do think that the stand is actually very nicely detailed. I mean, obviously it's just going to be like a simple plastic hollow stand, but I do like it better than just like the plain black stand that the Dragon Dagger comes with. It's very similar to where it has like the Red Ranger helmet design and stuff, but it has like this rock kind of pattern to it. I think it looks really good, and I am happy about that. The box for this thing is actually something that they showed off behind them, but they did not bother to give any screen time to like actually showing it off properly. But we can see it in the pictures that it's going to have the same kind of new box style that we first saw with the Draken helmets and the Color Swap 2-pack last month. So, you know, it's still keeping in like a, you know, similar theme, but the Lightning Collection boxes are changing going forward, and this is kind of our first batch of products that really get to show that. But I think it looks pretty good. No Tom Whalen artwork on the box, but I still think it's, you know, a pretty solid looking box. So the Power Sword is up for pre-order right now on Hasbro Pulse and other fan channel retailers. Now Hasbro Pulse put it up for $24.99. Not correct at all. I ordered it for $24.99. By the time this video is up, I'm not sure if it's still going to be at that error price, but that's definitely an accident. That's not supposed to be $24.99. Its actual retail price is $220, which I was trying to prepare you guys for a couple months ago. I told you that the Power Sword was going to be around $200, and the Power Lance, which we didn't see yet, is going to be around $150. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, the Bandai one was $150, and this one's $220. This one lights up and has, well, the other one had sounds, but this one lights up and it's smaller, but it has a stand, so it's like you're getting some new things, but you're also losing things like heights, I guess. But I know some people were saying that the original Legacy one was maybe a little too big, so maybe this is more up, you know, maybe it's more show accurate to you by being a little smaller. I never was able to get the Legacy one, so I'm definitely hyped to get this one, but I could definitely see why $220 is very off-putting to people. But hey, if Pulse somehow, which there's no way they will, but if they somehow honor the $24.99 price, then yeah, absolutely worth it, but there's no way they're going to do that. Speaking of the Power Lance and the continuing adventures of whoever put up this product page just had a field day, they actually specifically mentioned the Power Lance by accident instead of the Power Sword in the item description, and they do talk about having other Power Rangers, Power Blaster weapons, you know, sold separately. So yeah, if you needed more confirmation that the Lance was in fact coming and probably the other weapons, I guess there you go. But yeah, it's up for pre-order, and links will be down in the description below for this, and also the ninjas that I talked about earlier. And then the last thing they had to reveal today was the Zord Ascension project, Dragonzord. So this was another thing that we knew was coming. We had that leaked photo of it last month from that Hasbro internal presentation for like shareholders and stuff, and this was the full-on reveal of it. And overall, I think it looks pretty good. They did not focus on it as long as I would have wanted them to, but they didn't on any of these items. But basically, we can see from kind of the picture of all the accessories that he's going to come with like a bunch of different little swappable hand pieces. He's going to come with like the missile firing fingers. He's going to come with 3 different versions of Tommy that you can like put on the head of the Dragonzord or like have him stand next to them, maybe like on a little model building or something. So that is pretty cool. I do really like that feature, which is very similar to how the little Rangers are coming with the regular Megazord as well. And speaking of the Megazord, they showed this combined as the Dragonzord in battle mode. So the leaked photo that we had a couple weeks ago was it in its Mega Dragonzord combination, which they did not show off today, which is interesting because there's a piece for it that we can see that they didn't show it off. And people were already speculating this based off of the picture, and we'll go into that in a second because Hasbro didn't. So they did show off the Dragonzord in battle mode, which is my favorite configuration of this. And I know some people are a little concerned about the height difference, like the Megazord being a pretty good amount taller than the Dragonzord when they're supposed to kind of be at equal height. But then again, I always thought kind of like the Tyrannosaurus was supposed to be a little bit more of an equal height to the Dragonzord than like the regular Megazord. I get it though, but then again, to like combine it and stuff, like that's just kind of how it's going to be. So it's how it's going to be. They also talk about that this is like not a finished prototype. They haven't painted the chest yet, and they had this like 360 rotation of the Dragonzord that goes around, and it showed that it should have an all chrome chest, very similar to the original 90s toy that had like the all chrome chests, which honestly I like it unpainted chrome because it's more show accurate like that, and I actually don't like the chrome as much because that's more of a toy thing than it was on a show thing. But I get it. I mean, it will make it look nice. I do like how chrome looks, but, you know, technically I think it looked more show accurate without it. Now, what's interesting is that we can see from that leaked photo of the Mega Dragonzord combination that unlike the original Bandai one where like the arms kind of like fold in for the shoulder pads, it actually looks like there's like a swappable piece that you're just going to kind of put like dummy arms into those little slots. And we can see that laid across on the table next to the Dragonzord, but they didn't focus on that like at all. So, but it does seem like that's how this is going to work. You're probably going to like take the hands off, just like I think you would with like the missile effects and stuff like that, and then you're going to like put those plates on. I think that's how that's going to work. So while they showed off the ZAP Dragonzord, they really didn't go into much detail on it besides that. They didn't show off the box. They thankfully did not announce an NFT version. They didn't really do much on that. They literally, I thought it was a joke. At the end, they're like, and that's all we have time for. And I'm like, but it's been 13 minutes. And no, that was it. They wrapped it up. They were done. They were done. After 13 minutes, no Wave 12, no Deluxe Wave 2, and the stuff that they showed off, which was good stuff. I'm happy we're getting the rest of the ninjas. I'm happy that we're getting the Power Sword and the Dragonzord finally. They just did not spend much time on them whatsoever. Let's go back to that background for a second. So the background had like all the brand new Dino Fury Zords. It had the Power Pop Art 4-pack that's going to be a Walmart exclusive, which went up for pre-order at Walmart CollectorCon at the end of last month, but they never officially announced that you were going to be able to get them in a 4-pack. So I don't know, if they would have maybe spent some time focusing on that, that would have been nice. And they just didn't. Instead, they had a Pinata section, a little Party City plug, so I'm glad we got to have that instead of having a hint at Wave 12, even though we already know what Wave 12 is, but like, we could have had a hint at it. We could have had Deco Spec 3D renders of it like Marvel always does. I don't know. I literally thought it was a joke. I thought it ended at 13 minutes and that was just like, oh, but no, we have like one more thing, or like, oh, but no, we gotta talk about Wave 12, which, I mean, even that would have only stretched it to, like, maybe not even 20 minutes. But, like, I don't understand why they just felt like they needed to barrel through this and just, like, it was like it was a race. It was like, oh my gosh, we gotta get these, we have to announce them, like, right now. And we only have, it's like they had a bomb strapped to their chests or something. It's like, well, we gotta do this quickly. And I don't know why. You don't just focus on them for longer than 5 seconds. Like, why didn't you show off the box for the Power Sword in better detail? Why didn't you talk about the Lightning Collection thing that was right behind you that you didn't acknowledge? I never ever would have expected them to talk about the Lunar Wolf problems that we've been having, or the Ninjetti head problems that happened back in January, or the fact that they have still never announced In Space Silver, and that figure's been out for nearly 7 months. I didn't expect any of that to happen, but like, after 4 months of no live stream reveals and no live stream events for Power Rangers whatsoever, this is what you come back to? You hype this up, you get on your high horse and you be all snarky on Twitter being, you guys asked for this, so you guys better take, stay tuned for it, and then you deliver this. It was pathetic. It really was. And I know people always complain about fan first events and and everybody's like, oh, people just act entitled about them and stuff. I just want this to succeed. That's all that I want. I just want the line to succeed. I want to see some cool stuff, and I just want the people who are in charge of revealing the stuff. I know, I leak all of this stuff. You knew the Power Sword was coming back in September. You knew the Dragonzord was coming back in September. And the Ninjas leaked 3 weeks ago. I get it. So when it's their time to show it off, since we didn't get to see any of this stuff for the most part beforehand, we just knew it was coming. Take the time. Show us. Like, mess around with the sword. Why didn't they use the sword to, like, hit the pinata or something? Maybe they don't want to advertise that, but, like, just have some fun with it. And don't look like everybody was held hostage in a room. I mean, I said I wasn't going to talk about the stuff that they, kind of recapped, but, like, they have people, like, handing them stuff off, off screen, and it just felt so awkward and uncomfortable to show off the Dragon helmets and show off the Color Swap 2-pack. And I do not understand how you guys screwed this up so badly. The reveals are good. The reveals were good. I'm happy with what they revealed today. Besides not seeing Wave 12, I don't really know what that was about. But, like, I'm happy with the sword. I'm happy with the Dragonzord. I'm happy that the ninjas are going to be done, because we still don't have, like, metallic white. We haven't been able to finish off that set, but at least we're going to have the ninjas done, and even more done than we really would want them to be, because we're going to get Cat as well. So I don't know, man. It's just, and also, like, people were pointing this out on Twitter, and they're absolutely right. The Transformers one was an hour long. I'm not a Transformers fan, I didn't watch it, but I've been hearing really good things about it. They dive into the comics, which they could have done over here, because we're going to be getting this big countdown to 100 issues comic event coming out, and they didn't talk about it whatsoever. They very casually mentioned Dino Fury, and they're like, oh yeah, you know, season 29, season 2 of it's Netflix, you guys will watch it. And we're like, oh, what? Okay. And like, we've had some rumors that are floating around out there from reliable sources about the 30th anniversary for next year, and well, it's probably too early for them to talk about that. They can at least start hinting some stuff. I just, every time these events happen now, it just feels like they just do not care. And like, after 4 months of how bad all these controversies have been for the Lightning Collection, you needed to come back with a heavy hitter, and you came back with like one of the worst streams, maybe even the worst one that you've ever had. 13 minutes is a waste of everybody's time. It's a waste of their time to even make it. It's a waste of my time to watch it. It's a waste of my time to cover it right now, when it could have just been a Twitter drop if you were just going to show off 3 events and not even want to talk about them. Because it just seemed like they didn't even want to talk about them. And I'm done talking about them. So, I don't know. You guys comment whatever you want. I'm just here to tell you guys what happened. So, and that's what happened. And I wanted to make sure that I made it a goal to talk about these items in ways that Hasbro did not, and also talk about them for longer than they did. So, shout out to the designers, and shout out to everybody who, you know, took time to make this Power Sword, to take these promo shots that we look at every time. I think the posing of the ninjas looks great. I like that backdrop. I'm really happy, whoever made the graphics for this live stream, I think it looks really cool whenever they do like that 360 rotation of it. I just think that's kind of fun, and I wish they would kind of do that more often, because sometimes when they're holding them up on camera, we don't get the greatest angles or greatest views of them. So thank you guys for completing the ninjas. Thank you, Tom Whalen, for making a new cat artwork, which, you know, does break up the design a little bit, but it makes it something unique, and it's not just like the Kimberly artwork being reused, which they very well could have. They reuse your artwork all the time, and just Photoshop it different colors like they did for the A Squad and stuff like that, which makes it wrong. And this time they made it right, so I can appreciate that. I'm happy that the Dragonzord, I think, looks pretty good. I'm happy that he can combine. I don't know why people didn't think he would, but like, just that kind of stuff. And just, yeah, there's just a lot more that they could talk about. And like, think about the Megazord, right? They dive into this. Also, I didn't say this, but no Dragonzord pre-orders today. There's no Dragonzord pre-orders today. But they dive into the Dragonzord for like 5 seconds. They spent like a whole like 40-minute stream almost talking about the Megazord last time. I don't know. Could have been nice. I know that it didn't go for pre-orders today. Maybe we'll get a more in-depth Dragonzord stream later on. But nonetheless. So, I'm getting tired of these, quite frankly. And I'm going to keep covering the line, but like every day, I'm going to keep buying all this stuff and everything, but I get more and more tired of it. And my energy is more worth doing other things. But that's all I got. So until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LiveRancherKey or at LightningFigPR. Pre-order links for the Power Sword and the Ninjas will be in the description below. Thank you everybody who tuned in to the reaction stream. I'll probably post like a highlights reel of it at some point later on this week, but you can check that out. It will be in the end card. And I love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments, because my Twitter has been hilarious today of people rightfully pissed off, and I cannot wait to read it. Cool. Longer than Hasbro was.